Perfectly excellent.
Hey, how's it going, party people? Welcome to Perfectly Excellent, episode number 44, or as some people say, 44. And I'm exhausted. I'm completely and utterly tired. I wish the intro video was maybe 7 minutes long so I could kind of catch my breath a little bit more. The 20 seconds wasn't really enough for me to get revving. How about you? How are you
I get
feeling?
it. Good. Episode 44. I believe by the new math, that is 400% more episodes than episode 1 now. Based on the way that, yeah, I think that's the way it's now calculated. So congratulations on 400% more excellent. You earned it. You deserve it.
Thank you. I've been working really hard at this, doing my level best to be excellent and perfect.
Yes. Hey, mediocre has its perks.
I don't mind being a tremendous slouch from time to time.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short.
Exactly. So, are you ready?
But
are
we're
you feeling
doing
good? Are you up?
I'm trying. Like, as you know, I started the new job this week, new commute, so just trying to figure new life out now. But yeah, we're here. We're live.
We're live.
And it's episode 44. And we did something.
We did something. But before we do something, we have to show something.
We have to do something else.
We have to do something.
Do something else before we talk about the other something.
Should I just do the thing?
Perfectly excellent.
Okay, so I have not gone on to the big screen yet because
I noticed
my
that.
Invention Exchange has a little bit of a story behind it.
Okay.
You, Alan, know that for the past many months, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something, I have been complaining that there's this toy car that I had when I was a kid that I couldn't figure out what it was. I closed my eyes and I saw it in my head, but no internet could help me find it based on any descriptions that I was putting in. And I was getting really
nor any
frustrated.
AI agent. Yes, nor ChatGPT, Gemini, nothing.
Nothing was helping me out. So what I then started searching was, are there places that can help you identify toys? And I found like some Reddit things that were doing it. And I also found some Facebook groups that may or may not work out. So I joined one of those Facebook groups and I just sort of
tell me you uploaded your sketch.
I just sort of hung back and I tried to see like how good are they at identifying things. So they're pretty good. You know, people were in like all eras, all genres, like people were often kind of figuring out. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to describe what I'm looking for? And I made an extremely quick sketch that I sent you one time.
Yes,
I decided like, let me take a minute and let me do a more robust sketch.
Is this original Tim artwork right here?
Yes.
I've never seen you actually draw something. I'm uber impressed.
So I did get a picture of a Corvette that I pulled onto my iPad, and then I had like the sketch thing, and like it's not like I drew this like completely freehand out of nowhere.
Never mind. I'm no longer impressed. Go on.
So I drew like, okay, here, I got this car. It's got this gun that comes out of the front. It's got this like battering ram thing. It's got these spikes on the side, and like on the back, the windows popped up, and there were these missiles in there. So
and there was a person, right? There was like a little guy that came with it. Oh no, there
were no people that came with this. This was a smaller scale than Mask was. It didn't really. I couldn't remember any characters. I couldn't remember it having a cartoon. I couldn't remember having a TV show. So after I drew this picture, which again, I had a picture of a Corvette open on one side, and I sort of did my thing and did the accoutrements. I uploaded it to the Facebook group with a long description of what I remember about it, which is like you push down the top of the roof, these things spring out, describing what they were. And someone identified it in under 2 minutes.
I love the internet. When the internet works, it's a beautiful thing.
Now, just keep this picture in your head.
Let me burn this into my eyes.
So.
Okay. Wait for it. Ah, look at that. Yeah. So what is this thing? Spot on.
That's pretty.
It's like a police sketch. It's basically a police sketch of this thing.
So I was not quite content with this. What this is,
oh boy,
is a strike force. I'm sorry, is a Rough Riders
switch force.
Switch force. So I have like a mint in box one that I'm going to keep because I was so excited. I finally knew what this thing was. I immediately bought this one, and I wanted one to play with. Mm-hmm. So I bought an Oppo. Now this one doesn't have the battery cover, so it's not complete. But it was also $4, so I'm not going to complain too much about that.
I was gonna ask what these set you back, but guess not super in demand. That's amazing. You found one in the box as well, but very cool. Mystery solved. I thought when this had started, though, that you said it came with a little person, or was that something else you were trying to track down?
No. Well, that I don't know. But no, I knew for sure it didn't come with a person because every time I tried to search for it, like, it's not Mask. Like, every description I put in, it was trying to, like, push me towards Mask stuff. And I knew it wasn't Mask because it's a little bit smaller scale than Mask. But I played with this car so much when I was a kid. And I had no other cars in the scale, but I just loved this thing.
That one looks in good shape, too, for being out of the box.
Yeah. It's pretty solid. So there's only 3 cars in the whole line. There's a Trans Am, and there's a van. And then this one, the Corvette, and the van were also released a second time, repainted as A-Team ones. So there's like a white A-Team Corvette, and then there's the A-Team van that does that. And
amazing.
I'm hunting down the A-Team van because I want an A-Team van to put next to my little guy. But like, I could not be more stoked about this because again, months I've been talking about this thing.
Button or something.
I'm sorry.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. No, I said I wish there was an applause button I could push here too. Yay for much rejoicing. But that's awesome. Congratulations. I'm glad that mystery is solved. Very, very nice sketches. You should print those out and hang them up like with the vehicle, just to remember your journey from your brain to reality.
On that little Facebook group, so many people complimented the drawing, and I'm like, really? Like, this is not a good drawing. Like, I'm for me, it's good, but it's not like an actual good drawing. But I got a lot of compliments.
No, I thought it looked great. Nicely done. Did you get any wrong guesses, or just you got immediately right out the gate?
So in my thing of describing what it was, twice I said it is not Mask. I said it at the beginning and I said it again. Again, this is not Mask for sure. And at least 4 people are like, oh, that's from Mask.
Of course. Yeah. But they didn't know. They didn't read. They just looked at the picture and tried to help.
They just looked at the picture.
Thought immediately they could help you. They looked at the picture. That is a super, super cool pickup. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you.
Yeah. It cut the line. Like, I just got this stuff in like the last couple days. So it cut the line for some other stuff that's been here longer.
All right. Well, cool. Speaking of cutting the line, I don't really have a segue for that, but
Excellent.
yeah. So a lot of times when new things come out, so you got something old, I'm going to go with something new, right? You or I, or most people, you probably buy it right away, and then you get said thing, and then within what, like a month or two, sometimes that item drops in price, goes on sale, and at least I curse at the screen, like, why did I buy this? I could have saved X amount of dollars. So I decided to put my foot down with some lines and said, you know what? I'm not going to buy these day one. I'm only going to buy these when they are on sale. And so I waited and I waited and I waited. And lo and behold, yay, they finally went on sale. As these Jada toys do, the Mega Man ones at Amazon. They're probably like, it's been a few weeks. We need to get rid of these. So, yeah. So I've been made whole now on all of the Mega Man figures that have been released. And I did not pay a lot for this muffler this time.
Excellent.
For once, right? Yes, we have Bubble Man, as you can see, with his bubble and his, I guess his manness.
Yeah. Manly.
And then we also have, yes, and then Woodman. I'm surprised there's never been like a He-Man and Mega Man crossover, and they fight to death for the man, like,
the right to be
title.
a man.
Yeah. I mean, there's Mega Man and He-Man.
Yeah, that's a start.
That is a start, and then there's lots of other men.
Yeah, there's not as many,
but I'm very excited.
There's not as many He-Man mans as there are like ors. There's a lot more ors than mans as far as He-Man characters go.
I feel like I need to see a pie chart of the mans versus ors. Yeah, maybe we could work on that for next time. But yeah, excellent invention exchange. Something old for you and something new for me. And those are our new toys. But oh boy, did we see a lot more other toys last weekend.
We sure did. Let's get the main event fired up.
Perfectly excellent.
Do something! Do something! Do something!
We did something.
We did something. We certainly we got out there and we did it. And it was right in our backyard, kind of. So that made it a lot easier.
We went to
do something. I was going to say our last do something, we had to drive a couple hours. This do something, not so much.
No. This was in good old Morristown, New Jersey. Doing the math, I believe it was about a half hour away from both of us in our different locales. Yes. So not too hard to get to. ToyCon's been going on for a while. Like, how many times do you think you've gone to a version of ToyConNJ?
I don't think I've missed many of them. Okay. I probably think I've only missed, I know I didn't go the year it was in Montclair. And I don't know, I don't know that we ever missed any that were in when it used to be in Parsippany. I think we were pretty good on those. So yeah, ToyCon's been a thing for a while. It's been moving around a bit. And this was your first time attending it at the Morristown Armory, correct?
Yeah, I've been to it in Parsippany many times, although like not for a while. And they did it in the Wayne PAL building at least twice that I can remember. And I went to both of those. But since it had moved back to the Morristown one, I usually find going to Morristown a little annoying. And I didn't know exactly where this was in Morristown, so I kind of skipped a few of them. I also believe that they raised the entry price to a dollar amount that seemed unreasonable to me. I think it was $20 for a few years.
At the PAL, yeah. So let me take a step back. So what ToyCon is, it used to be a toy show that happened twice a year. Now it's only once a year. And it's one of the larger toy shows in this area, right? It's not quite as big as something like ZoloCon or I don't know what else there is out there. But for Northern New Jersey, it's a fairly large show. You can see by the size of this. And again, they used to be in a PAL building where they had multiple gymnasiums, and they kind of it got a little wild there. If you remember, they had arcade games, they had like slot cars, and that's when the price shot up to $20. And then I think they scaled it back to focus primarily on toys. And it was at the Wayne PAL, occupying, I think, three different rooms. And it's a not a giant show, but would you say it's a large show?
It's a sedan.
It's a sedan. Yeah, there's room for everyone in there.
Yeah, it's not an SUV, it's not a station wagon, but it's not it's not a hatchback.
Yeah, way back when at ToyCon, I think the first year or two, or maybe just first year of Legions Con, used to be part of ToyCon in one of the rooms, and that has since grown up into its own thing. But what did you think about this locale versus to previous years?
Well, I think I could probably spend a decent amount of time complaining about how terrible the parking situation is there.
Yes,
I do not like that. So the first taste of the venue that you have is parking in a field next to said armory. I got there a tiny bit before 10. So the early bird was at 9. The standard entry was at 10. It was a $10 difference. It was $20 versus $10. So I'm like, we'll get there at 10. We don't need the early bird. So when I got there, the parking lot was packed, just absolutely packed. So you start driving into this field, and at first it's just like, okay, well, this is just a field, and there's parking and whatever.
It's like festival parking at first, right?
Yeah. It's like going to the Sussex County Farm and Horse Show. I know I parked in grass before. I'm not. That's not a new thing.
But then it takes a turn. But then
you keep going, and it's like, oh, hey, there's nothing resembling a road anymore, and oh, hey, this isn't grass anymore, and I think I'm in a ditch, and oh, hey, I'm surrounded by 3-foot tall wheat stalks now.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
I think that's parking for tanks at that point, not for cars. But yeah, I was surprised at 10 o'clock that parking lot was so jam-packed already. I did not expect that.
And I can't remember where we heard, but someone said that, like, oh, you know what? I exchanged messages with someone on Blue Sky, and they said that getting out like during the height of it was impossible because at the very end of the aisle there was like a 1 car length that you could get through to the next aisle. Apparently people started parking there, and the people who were a little further back couldn't get out anymore.
What a jerk.
Yeah. So
the first year it was there, I accidentally pulled into the vendor lot, and I somehow found a spot which was right by the building, right next to the building. And I was like, I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I had no idea that we were supposed to park in no man's land at that show.
Yeah. It was annoying to the point where I'm like, I'm not sure how to handle that next time. Does that mean we need to go earlier? Does that mean, like, I don't know what that means, but I do not want to park in a ditch surrounded by, like the bayou, if I can avoid that next time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's worth. I'd be curious too. Is there any difference for the VIP, like paying the extra $10, get in an hour early? Like, does that do anything aside from possibly better parking in the field?
Yeah. So when we got in, the first thing that we did was that you were tasked with picking up the exclusive for someone.
Yeah, and I'll take the blame for this because I saw a line. I asked a person what the line was for, and they said for Mythic Legions, and the exclusive I was after for some friends was a Mythic Legions show exclusive. So I made an assumption that this must be the line.
Right.
So it was, go on.
We stand in this line for approximately 25 minutes?
25 minutes, yes.
Okay. And then our buddy, Agent Variant, comes up to say hello.
Yeah. And then he tells us gleefully, you idiots are on the wrong line. The exclusive is around the corner at this other table. And we were hesitant, or like I was hesitant at first because we had waited in said line for 25 minutes. But yes, turns out he was right. The exclusives we were after were on another table with no line, no waiting.
No waiting. So you were able to get the ones that you needed for your buddies, and then I found out later on that they sold out probably maybe like an hour after you grabbed yours.
Out it was very soon. It was by 11 o'clock. So you figure we got there a little after 10. We waited here at 10:30 and we went over there. So it was soon after you and I had gone to that table. They were gone for the day.
Yeah. And then my understanding is the next day they limited it, I think, to one per person to try to stretch them out a little bit because demand exceeded stock. So.
Demand exceeded stock. They were allowing 3 per person. When by the time we went up there, they were limiting it to 2 per person. And then, yes, on Sunday, they went down to 1 per person. And then somehow it went up on Big Bad Toy Store, I think today, and was sold out there. It went up for $80 though, versus the the $55. So,
well, I'm glad that you were able to get it for your pals.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our first experience. Our first experience was standing still for a long period of time.
Yeah, and Joe, who just joined, is one of said recipient of that figure. So you're very welcome. Yay. Welcome. Yeah, we're recapping ToyCon and our, my mistake, my first, I'll take the blame for getting in this line. And then I realized after we left, we never went back to the mythic table. Like I totally forgot to go back and look. So.
Well, we walked by it a couple times and sort of like looked at it over people's heads.
Yeah, there was, I don't know if that line ever stopped. It changed in length, but there was always a line. And primarily, I think it's just due to the way the shopping experience is arranged. Oh, and Joe, you are very, very welcome. Tim and I both say, like, when we go to these things, it's nice to have a mission to be on. Yeah. Like there's something satisfying about completing that mission. So I was very happy that worked out. If I wasn't able to buy, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just wish we hadn't stood in that line quite so long because for whatever reason, standing there for that amount of time, plus I was standing outside a little bit. Like I got there about 10 minutes before you did. And it threw out my back really bad. So I was kind of limping around like an extremely old man once we started actually running the aisles.
Yeah, it's ToyCon is a young man's game these days. It's not for those up in years. But again, we got out of the line, we got the goods, and then we had at it. And there was plenty to have at, right?
It was a pretty big show. But I have to say that after going to ZoloCon a couple months ago, I mean, this was not anywhere near the size and scope of ZoloCon. Like, that does not mean this was a bad show, but it is maybe, a third of the size?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because ZoloCon had like a bizarre layout in the front, but yeah, and also the quality of the items here. Like ZoloCon, I felt like, I don't know, maybe more than half of those items were way beyond anything I could even dream of buying. Where here, there's more grit, there's more down to earth pricing and junk and whatnot. So.
Yeah, I would say that it was a pretty decent. It was more of a mix of modern and vintage that I personally would have liked, because I'm more interested in digging around the old stuff than I am seeing another table full of Black Series toys. But I would say it was probably like a 50-50 mix.
Yeah, it's tough because our time we kind of skipped over those vendors that it's easy to tell. You go up there and it's Black Series, Marvel Legends, and then on to the next. And the one vendor, remember, who was selling everything from $5 below, not for $5, but her sign said vintage something, but nothing there was vintage.
No, it looked like an MLM if you went to like a flea market, like one of those pyramid scheme type 100%. Situations.
Yeah, but for the most part, there was still some really impressive stuff, things that we had never seen before, or things in great condition. Yeah, there's Godzilla there.
Yeah, there's a Shogun Rodan down there in the background, although it appeared to be missing its back piece, but it had the front and the 2 wings. But again, you don't see a Shogun Rodan at the Wayne Toy Show, for example.
No, definitely not. Wayne, I think these days is more. I don't even know what Wayne is. We'll have to do a whole separate thing about the rise and fall of the Wayne Toy Show. But yeah,
it's kind of like the Dirt Mall now.
It is certainly the Dirt Mall. But look at this, a lot of carded Star Wars figures, like vintage Kenner figures. I mean, there was some cool stuff to look at.
Yeah, it was good. We stopped over here and we like the complete droid factory caught both of our eyes. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like I can't say I was close to buying it, so I don't know if you felt that way either, but I definitely felt the gravitational pull of that.
Yeah, I do, because this is something we probably talked about it before. That was my older brother's, and I would often play with it, and it was just like the third leg for R2D2. It was just like an amazing play set with the crane and everything. Something I would love to get again, but I didn't really feel the urge for, what is it, like 200 and something he was selling it for?
275. 275.
Yeah. We should have gotten this guy's name and like taken a picture. He was like a cool dude to chat with.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He had a lot of really cool stuff. He had some extremely clean mini rigs, which I will jump here, and I guess maybe I'll mix it in since we're kind of on that slide. The purchases that I made were from this guy, and I got my mini rig, which I had this one when I was a kid. I have not ever seen one this white before. They're always
that
yellow,
looked like brand new.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Really good. The stickers are in pretty decent shape. Like, I'm not collecting Star Wars vehicles at all, but like I loved this thing when I was a kid. I lost that dome probably the day I got it as a kid. Yeah. So I don't really ever remember it having a dome. So I have the one other mini rig. I don't know any of their letters, but the orange one that kind of flies. Like, I have that one. I have this one. I'm good at that, but I was really like, I just couldn't pass it up. It was just too nice.
That was like, and we were talking with the vendor just how like we've never seen one in that good shape before, and it really like it was like glistening from across the aisle. It was so in such good condition. So that was a great pickup from that dude.
The other one is I upgraded my 8D8 droid because the one that I had was much yellower and had wonky legs.
Oh yeah, those are definitely wonky.
So I was able to upgrade one of him to a much cleaner one. And these are my two pickups, and I bundled and saved.
No, nice. You bundled and I bundled and saved too. I bought some things from that dude, but I went into his junk bin, the beater bin, because I was just looking for I don't know, just more gonk droids.
Nope.
So these were in such bad shape, some of these, but I didn't care. They'll be fun to do something with. Yes, two like totally destroyed ones, one in mildly okay shape, but does it click? Oh, and it still clicks, so that's always a win. $10 for the three of them, so
that's not bad.
That was not bad at all. He had a decent one for 35, but I was just looking for the beaters. So.
Yeah. I got the two of these for 30. The 8D8 was listed at 16. The mini rig was listed at 25. Two became one. $30. Very happy to
that's a great deal for that, especially in such good shape. So yeah.
I was stoked on that.
Awesome.
All right, let's go back over here.
But no sale on the droid factory, at least not.
No, it's I don't think that was a bad price. And I'm pretty sure he probably would have come down on it a little bit or very easily combined some of the other stuff we were buying with it. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't really have a place for it. And while I did have a droid factory, I didn't have it when I was a kid. I had it when I was a little tiny bit older and I bought it at a garage sale. So like, when I was like 13 or 14, I bought one at a garage sale that had a lot of the pieces, not all of them, a lot of them. So I don't have those memories of like playing with it when I was like, 7, 8, 9 years old. So I'm trying to like I'm running out of room. So I got to be careful about what I pick up.
No, I get it. And yeah, there was, again, like this shot, there was a lot of good stuff to look at, a lot of fun stuff. We poked around.
There was a flag. There's two flags. One of them was kind of like graffiti, but this was like the nicer looking flag. And as I've mentioned before, like this is one of my like Grail pieces, but like knowing fully well, I'm probably not going to ever get one. One, because of the cost, but two, like I have absolutely nowhere to put this. And this might be the one place where my wife would just go, come on, what are you doing? Like, we can't do this.
But hey, look what's parked on it. Your orange mini rig, right?
Yeah, right in the middle there. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
So, but I always love seeing them, and they always kind of make my heart yearn. But but you know,
yeah,
no
these are
sell
awesome.
there.
Go back to the flag for the sec, because we were talking. We wanted to try to come up with a gauge for these toy shows, like something like, oh, you know, it was 2 flags or something, you know,
Yeah.
or dog droids. So we'll have to come up with some kind of toy barometer. You know, I was looking at the Gonk droids, I was looking at the Jabbas. You were
I was
counting
looking
flags,
at the Shogun Godzillas
and the Shogun Godzilla. So we'll have to see so we can rate these as we go to them. But yeah, it is really impressive. Not on my want list at all, but it's a really impressive to see in person, even though my childhood memories of it are so much bigger because I was probably so much smaller. But alas,
but it is still gigantic.
Oh yeah, it is. It needs a room like that. That needs its own room.
Every time I see one, I can't believe they made it. It's like, what maniac thought this was a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, how much did it retail for? Do you remember? Do you
I have no idea.
I'm curious to go back and look that up.
But very cool stuff.
Yeah, this was super, super cool. I haven't seen this like in the box I don't know that I've ever seen it in the box like this. Price was, well beyond anything I would be willing to pay. But I have such a affinity for the Fisher-Price Adventure people, especially any of the Alpha Star and the Space sets. So this was really, really cool. Tim helped me out. It was very high on someone's display, and there was something blocking it. So I needed him to move that out of the way so I can get a cool shot. But I mean, 225 was. I remember I saw the space shuttle in box at the Wayne Toy Show for $40 once. So I don't know. This seems like a crazy price on this, but still, it was, again, these are some of the cool things just to see on the shelves and go, look at that.
Yeah, I was actually on the hunt for an Alpha Probe. Like I've decided, because like I had that when I was a kid, and I decided that like I want one of those for my vintage shelf. So I was kind of hoping we'd stumble across one, because I know we've seen them in various states of disrepair at the Wayne Toy Show, but not a single one at this one.
And remember, we saw one at ZoloCon that looked like it had been through like a black hole. It was not in good shape, but
yeah, it was kind of rough. You know what? I'm going to skip those. I want to kind of talk a little bit about some of the newer stuff that was there, because there were some like indie toy companies that had set up shop that I'm not familiar with, but you seemed to know all of them on a first name basis, like you had gone out to dinner with them in the past.
Yes, this is Jeremy from Meta Travelers. And yeah, they've been around for a long time. Like this is a project that these guys, I'm sure, are exhausted. I'm sure, you know, with everything that's happening in the world, it impacted the delivery. I don't remember if I first heard of them at Legion's Con or where I first heard of them, but they really like cool designs and cool sculpts. And I believe it's some of the artists that Mythic Legions uses design some of these things. And the creators had something to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm not super sure. But they're building their whole mythos around it. They're building there's a comic book and there's the figures, and it's just been years and years and years of them teasing, but they were finally there. So I finally got Quick Jack. Yay. I've been wanting this guy since they first teased him. Just like crazy colors and a unique looking character. Again, all of their stuff is really, really unique. So I don't think this will be the last that I pick up from them, even though I'm trying not to buy any more toy lines. I feel like these guys have been around since before that rule was established. So giving myself some leeway. So
I can't remember that and the gonks. Those were the only things you picked up, right?
No, but wait, there's more.
Oh,
there was a dude, like he must have been like a super Ghostbusters fan, because his whole table was all Ghostbusters. He had a proton pack. He had bins of junk Ghostbusters toys on the ground. And then he had a lot on his table. And I was finally able to get the HasLab, the Ecto-1 exclusive figures that I wanted. See, we got Slimer with his derriere there. He was telling me he bought 2 Ecto-1, so he was selling off the extra, figures that came with. We have the librarian with her books, and we have Sir Louis Tully ready to roll.
You've been talking about him for a while.
Yeah, well, there's two. There was Lewis's Bad Night, which I went back and forth on. That's the one with just him and one of the terror dogs. But every time I'm about to pull the trigger on it, I look at it close and it just looks terrible. But yeah, I was psyched that this guy was selling these because I wanted these more than I wanted the Ecto One. Like these were a big draw for me. So yeah, he had just the extra set on the table, and I haggled with him. You'll be proud, because I bundled and saved. So
it's always important.
Yeah. But he was a good guy to chat with. He had a lot of figures at his bin, and you could tell he was a fan because there was a Walter Peck figure and a Vigo figure, which I'd never seen before. And there you go, that guy right there. He wanted $40 for it, and I don't think it looked good enough to.
It's the eyes. The eyes are awful.
It had really bad deco. Is that what you call it, or just bad face paint? So for $40, I should have picked up Walter Peck for $5. But as I was looking at it, some other Ghostbuster fan came up, and he was like, "Oh, that's a great price for that. Oh, you didn't include the something." And the second he said something wasn't included, I put it back. I can't. That was it was so funny. He completely unsold me on that figure. But that one would have been a lot of fun. But yeah, Vigo, I had no idea they even made these figures. I think they said they were Mattel. So
yeah. So this is something that you looked at and opted to not get. And going back here, this is something that I looked at and opted to not get. Though I believe I am going to be putting this on my want list. This is the Knickerbocker Dukes of Hazzard wrist racer. So it attaches to your wrist like a watch, and then you can wind up the car and then shoot it off of your wrist. And I had this when I was a kid. And while I am completely aware that there's a problematic aspect to wanting Dukes of Hazzard merch, this is just this tiny little thing. And I actually had a bunch of Dukes of Hazzard stuff when I was a kid. That was one of my favorite shows when I was a little kid.
They were the good old boys. Yep.
I just like the cars. I always liked car shows. Even my favorite movie is The Blues Brothers. A lot of that is because I just love all the car chase scenes that are in it. So I've decided that while I'm not going to rebuy most of the Dukes of Hazzard stuff that I had when I was a kid, I do want to get one of these. And I asked the fellow what the price was, because this is one of those annoying dealers that doesn't mark anything. So you have to ask them about every single thing.
That's bad juju at a toy show. Yeah.
I don't like that. And he wanted $85 for this. And I'm like, that feels a little pricey. So I walked away. It's nowhere near that on, eBay or whatever. It's in the $30 to $40 range. So he was asking double what I could get it for elsewhere. So I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
It was in his glass case. So
yeah, I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I am looking for one. And the other thing that was also in his booth was a really nice looking Megatron. And while again, I'm not buying a whole bunch of Transformers, Megatron is one of those ones that as a kid that I wanted. I really wanted Megatron, but I never got him. Kind of like Devastator that I showed off on the Invention Exchange a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how much this was because it was the same guy who said it was $85 for that Dukes of Hazzard thing. So I didn't even bother asking. Mm-hmm. But I did walk away from this one I don't know. I don't even know that I'm ever going to get one, but it's something that I'm kind of keeping my eye on. I have some interest in it. If I ever saw it complete at a good price, cool. But I usually see it for $300 to $500, and I don't want it that much.
Probably because kids definitely played with that one, ran around with it. It always bothered me though that he turned into a gun. I thought that was so bizarre.
Right, but that's the thing. I don't need to play with it anymore. Now I just want to look at it because again, I just really wanted that one when I was a kid because he was the leader of the bad guys and I didn't have the leader of the bad guys. So,
but he turns into a gun.
I know I had Starscream, so Starscream was the leader of my bad guys.
But he turns into a gun and then someone else has to use him, right? That's the way it works.
Well, in the cartoon, he gets SM all, and then someone can hold him, but the toy doesn't really do that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Not really. No.
Defy the space time and continue in there. Okay, cool. Well, what else was happening there? So yeah, we did our laps. We saw some cosplayers. We saw Stormtrooper. There was a R2D2 rolling around and Pikachu who just couldn't keep his head on.
There's a fox lady sort of thing
Yeah,
going
I
on.
don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was either, but there was a couple,
Because pro tip, if you go in cosplay, I think you get in for $5, which is what I did last year.
I know. I mean, it's a big discount for your dignity.
It is. What else was there? There's they had some food trucks out front, but those always seem to be problematic, with people waiting for their food. I don't know. What did you think overall? Did you have a good time?
I mean, if I'm going to compare it to the Wayne Toy Show, I mean, it's 1,000 times better than going to the Wayne Toy Show, which, don't get me wrong, I like going to the Wayne Toy Show. There's always something fun to kind of poke your nose around it with.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's a much higher caliber of stuff at this one. Like, it's interesting to see people rolling out, like graded, carded Star Wars figures and that sort of thing. I thought the variety of vintage stuff was okay. I didn't think it was great, but it was good. There was certainly stuff to kind of dig around. Like you said, a lot of the stuff was sort of grittier and not in pristine condition. And while I'm not necessarily like this must be absolutely mint, there were a lot of beaters. Like, there were a lot of beaters hanging around.
Yeah.
If you compare it to ZoloCon, my opinion is like that's the big difference. I felt like the stuff at ZoloCon was a much higher caliber array of stuff, like both in quality, quantity, and condition,
and variety too. Yeah, ZoloCon, I would say, is mint on card, where ToyCon is
the bin under the table.
Yes.
Well, actually, no, the Wayne Toy Show is the bin under the table.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's a good time. It was a lot of stuff to look at. Certainly, if I didn't have to run out when we did, I would have maybe hung out for a little bit more. Looked at the Mythic Legions table, though I try to keep all my Mythic purchases to Legions Con. That's my one Mythic shopping trip a year. I will say, though, the toy shows are getting difficult for me. You mentioned the one guy who didn't have prices on anything. I kept seeing because I couldn't see so good, and I kept thinking the prices wrong. Anthony Mirth, Toy Mirth on Instagram, he was selling a bunch of Groot hot toys, and I'm like, why are you selling that one for $20? And he's like, no, it's $200. And I'm like squinting, looking at it. I'm like, are you sure? And then remember, there was a guy who had, it wasn't a NECA Slimer, but it was some other Slimer in the package, and I thought that was like $45 or something, but I think it was $145. So that was fun.
Yeah. The one thing that I will say is I like it in Parsippany better. Not even just because of like the parking in Parsippany is not ideal either. Like it can be challenging to find a spot sometimes
but it's a lot. It is a parking lot.
It is a parking lot. And it's probably smaller, but it doesn't feel smaller. And I think it has a lot to do with the way it's laid out in Parsippany. It always felt bigger there to me than this place does, which seems ludicrous because this is in like an airplane hangar, and that's in like a rec center.
Well, if you look at the space between the aisles here, like there's room to walk. Parsippany, it's packed, which is fine. Like, but it's the aisles are much closer together. So, but it's also much better well lit. Like Parsippany has lights. Yeah. This place just had daylight coming through. I think that was it.
And we were lucky it wasn't hot out, because it's basically like a giant barn.
Yes.
So I feel like if it was warm out, it would have been extraordinarily uncomfortable in there.
That was a year or two, or maybe it was 3, where it was sweltering in there, and it was no good. They just had every door and everything open, but was not good for toys.
Yeah. So do you think there's anything they could do to make it better?
I don't know. It's like I said, I didn't go to the year it was in Montclair, so I don't know how that venue was.
That was the last time they did it, wasn't it? Wasn't that like late last year?
I don't know if that was last year or 2 years ago. I think that might have been 2 years ago they did it in Montclair. I don't know. Either last year or 2 years ago. I don't know. Is there anything they could do better? Maybe sweep? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It when we went to Parsippany, even when it was at Wayne, it felt like and this is going to sound stupid, but it felt like a toy show.
Right.
This really felt more like a flea market. it had a much more flea market vibe in there. And I guess it doesn't matter because it's the same stuff. But what could they do better? Put the exclusives at the front or something when you go in, where you could buy it when you enter.
Signage.
Yeah, maybe some signage. Maybe
especially saying where the exclusives are. Maybe a sign that says, "Don't wait in this line, you jerk."
Yeah, I don't know that I think if anything, I think Mythic Legions needs to figure out their shopping experience. I think you should walk on one side of the table. The line should go like circle the table. So one side you could look, so that when it comes time to the register, you know what you're buying. And it's not a surprise that, oh my gosh, I'm up at the table. I got to make a decision. But I don't know. I don't have any suggestions. What about you?
Again, I don't like that venue. I would move to a different venue, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Parsippany. And I don't know. I feel like if they're going to stake their claim as this is the once a year biggest toy show in the state of New Jersey, which has a lot of people in it, I do feel like they should be able to bring in more and higher caliber vendors. You know, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania is not really a bustling metropolis that's easier to get to for almost anyone than Morristown, New Jersey is. Like, I if anything, I think Morristown is a more populous area, but even if it's not far off. And I feel like they could just make it bigger or maybe better.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a good point, because it's slightly more grand than the monthly toy show,
but not much.
But really not much.
You know? And again, walking around ZoloCon just like kind of spoils you a little bit, because you're like, man, this is crazy. And I've been watching a lot of like, you know, toy show walkthroughs on YouTube lately. And the stuff they get in like Pennsylvania and Ohio and Indiana, it's crazy. The toy shows they get in the Midwest, they're so much better than out here. And I don't get it. There's more people out here.
Wasn't there another toy show happening the same weekend, or some other event was going on?
There was like some like anime con or something like that. And I don't know that really had anything to do with
I thought there was something
quality.
else too. But I think you just said it, like ZoloCon, and I guess it does say ToyCon. In my head, I'm thinking it was like a toy show, but it does say ToyCon in the name. So forget that. If they're trying to be a con, you're right. It needs a little more spectacle. It does need to be bigger, more organized, and
I just feel like there's got to be a higher caliber of vendor. And I'm not saying get rid of the people who are there. I'm saying add to it and try to get some more people. Like, you know, like the one guy that had all of like those crazy graded Star Wars figures. Get more people like that who are like having some of the more high end items. I think you'll attract different people to the show as well, and maybe you can justify having people go to both days, because right now I can't fathom going back on Sunday after walking through it on Saturday.
Yeah, and I would only go on Sunday as like a last ditch, because you figure most everything, the good stuff, is probably getting got on Saturday.
Yeah, unless again, Lewis. So the other question I had for you is like, walking through something like this, like when you're done, do you go, I have had my toy show fix, I feel good, I'm a little burnt out on it, I'm ready to just kind of sit back and just kind of relax? Or does going to one make you go, okay, when's the next one? I want more. When's the next one?
I enjoy this. And like I said, if I didn't have to leave when I had to leave, I would have hung out for a while. I would have like relaxed, maybe done because we did kind of like maybe 1.5 laps. We did one wander and then one more specific where we went back to look at things. But I would have taken more time to peruse. And I feel like that's something I'm guilty of every time. Like, I don't know, I get caught up in the moment. But I
felt guilty. My plan was to do like a row by row walkthrough like I did the last time we went to Wayne. But because I threw my back out, like I couldn't do it. Like I was hurting too bad.
Yeah, no, but I'm excited. I'm enjoying do something. Like it's nice to have things on the calendar, and there's other do somethings coming up. There's things to be done.
Well, the thing that's kind of getting to me is, I believe next weekend there's a toy show in I think Danbury, Connecticut, called Shop the Curiosity Toy Show. And it's come up on Instagram a few times, and it looks good, and it's within striking distance. You know, it's under 2 hours away. And like, you and I haven't really talked about it at all, but like, I want to go to it.
Yeah.
It's also the day before that sugar show in
New
York City.
Yeah.
Which is another do something.
Unfortunately, because of the new job and that I'm commuting back to New York, my do something tolerance has gone down quite a bit, but I'm hoping that's going to normalize after things become like, you know, routine, as I've just been exhausted lately, but that does sound intriguing. That one. Yeah.
I figured that I certainly couldn't talk you into going to this one on Saturday. I'm thinking about it because my wife will be out most of that day, and I'm going to probably just be sitting home alone. So I'm really kind of just trying to decide, all right, am I going to have the oomph necessary to do that and then go into New York City the next night?
That is right. That's a lot to do something.
That's a lot.
Cool
that's
if
a
you
lot
did
of
go. That would be that'd be a banger of a weekend.
I don't know that my back would hold up. So I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, because that shows are a lot of standing around, are they not?
They are, but you know what? I can take different precautions at a show that I did not take at this. Just not figuring there would be as much. Like, I'm fine walking around. It's the standing still that kind of gets me. So I didn't prepare for a lot of standing still the way I know how to for a show.
Got it. All right. Yeah, we got to figure out what we're doing for that night. I can't believe that's a Sunday. I'm gonna be in so much trouble Monday. Like, I should just stay in the city because I am gonna be I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm old these days, not like when we were young. You just go out all night and then go to work the next day. Now it hurts.
Believe me, I've been thinking about like, how much do I really want to go to this show? Like, and here's the thing. I do really want to go to the show. I don't want to go into New York City on a Sunday night.
Yeah. I tell you, I would much rather go to the toy show on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to talk about this.
We're going to have to talk about this. All
right.
How much of a bath are we willing to take on things?
How much were the tickets? We could talk about that offline.
Yeah. Enough to where throwing it in the garbage would be kind of a little.
Well, maybe somebody else. Is it sold out? Maybe somebody else would.
It is. Maybe. We'll have to talk about this, but I'm very intrigued by going to another, what seems to be reasonably sized toy show.
Yeah. Stay tuned for next week to find out if they or did they.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen next week as far as like what we're doing for a show. We don't really have a whole lot of plans because, like, as Alan mentioned, he has started a new job. My job, I also had to do a whole bunch of stuff on location that I don't typically have to do. So my week this week has been kind of chaotic as well. So the fact that we were able to put this show together, period, I think is remarkable. So kudos to both of us.
Yes.
But I don't know what's going to happen next week.
Yeah. Let us discuss, because not only is that a Sunday night show, but that week, in addition to going to New York on Monday, I have to go to Pennsylvania for maybe possibly Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's discuss. But this is good. This was a good ToyCon. Good time. I'm sure we'll be back again next year, no doubt, because again,
because it's right here. That's right here.
Is it worth $10? Is it worth the regular general admission?
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
It's worth $10. Would it be worth $20? No, it wouldn't be worth $20. It's absolutely worth $10.
I think there had to be at least 2 years where we begrudgingly paid the $20 for.
I don't know that I did, because like I have not gone to this in a while.
Okay.
Like in a while. Like, I actually think the last time I went to one of these was pre-pandemic.
Wow, really? Has it been that long?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. But anyway, it was a good time. I'm excited with my little friends. Not quite as excited as I am about this guy though. Like this is
that's a great pickup. That's hilarious.
That is my triumph.
I want to find that group. I just want to see what other like random drawings and recollections people are bringing up.
You know what? Let me actually shout it out because they deserve it, because they helped me figure out something that I've been trying to figure out for a really, really long time. The Facebook group is called Vintage Toy Central, and they're the ones who helped me find this. And I could not be more ecstatic that I have a Rough Rider Switch Force in my collection.
Congratulations, you deserved it.
And, all right, well, I think that's probably gonna do it. That's gonna do it for us.
This is gonna do it
today. Nope. Yes. No. Boo. Yay!
And curse Hasbro for keeping the ghosts to the HasLab. There's no ghost in that line. That's such a lame move, but
yeah. So it goes. Still good though. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us for a little bit. Hopefully we see you next week, and
we'll let you know about Toy Show or Sugar. What's it gonna be?
I have thoughts.
I have thoughts. All right. Thanks everybody.
Perfectly excellent.